Cecilia. I'm a senior nurse and I work here in this mental health hospital on Chestnut Ward. Today I'm meeting Nina from Cherry Ward. Nina wants to brush up on the 4 steps, which is something we use here on Chestnut Ward. It's working really well for us. Let's go and meet Nina.
So are you working the whole shift, Nina?
Yeah, I'll be shadowing Cecilia for the day.
You must be Nina. Nice to meet you. I'm Cecilia.
Thank you so much for agreeing to meet.
I've got to go. Robert's not doing too well, but I'll tell you more later.
Okay.
All right. Mm-hmm.
So tell me, Nina, what do you remember about the 4 steps?
Well, I know a little bit. I've had some training, but it was quite a while ago. We've heard great things about your ward, though, and that it's helped you to reduce incidents of violence and aggression.
Yeah, it's working really well for us. Let's go onto the ward and I'll show you the 4 steps board. Oh, let me just grab these.
So this is your 4 steps board?
Exactly. It provides the ward with a clear understanding of what the 4 steps are. The 4 domains are proactive care, patient engagement, teamwork, and environment. Each domain breaks down into the following interventions. Proactive care includes DASA, risk management, and zoning. Patient engagement includes mutual agreement and proactive engagement. Teamwork includes report out board, SBARD, and escalating risk. And finally, environment implements the Lembauer's Safe Wards interventions. This chart shows the number of incidents of violence and aggression over the last year. And as you can see, we have reduced the number of incidents dramatically by consistently using the 4 steps. But there are some key elements which it helps to get right too. For example, our ward manager and consultant work really well together. They're very supportive and both were really involved when we were testing and implementing the interventions. I mean, I'll be honest, there were some reservations about how we would implement some of it, but they gave us time to do the training and even came along to it. I mean, we haven't looked back. The ward, it feels safer. It's a nicer place to work. Come on, let me show you the ward.
So how's Robert doing?
Well, this morning he refused to take his medication, so... Hi.
This is our consultant, Dr. Hatsey.
Hi. Please, call me Marco.
Excuse me one sec.
I'm nurse!
All right, Robert, take a step back, please, because I'm going to come outside and talk to you. All right, the staff are a bit concerned, so they don't want you to go outside to take leave and smoke, okay?
And that's ridiculous!
So when you were admitted, you said your preferred choice would be a vape if you weren't allowed to smoke outside. So do you have it with you?
I've run out of liquid.
Okay, all right, well, let me see what I can do to help with that.
Robert has become increasingly aggressive this shift and it's becoming more difficult to de-escalate the situation. We now need to complete a DASA. This morning, staff gave Robert a DASA score of 2 because of his negative attitude and verbal threats. At this stage, he's becoming more irritable, he's easily angered, and he's struggling to listen. This could end up with him in the red with a DASA score of 5. It means a further plan needs to be put in place. Marco, any thoughts?
We know that Robert is capable of regulating his mood, so let's give him an opportunity to try and relax in his room for a bit. If that doesn't work, we may have to consider some PRN. We should review his care plan with him and see if he has any ideas about what he can do to help him calm down. It's late in the day now, but tomorrow we can have a discussion with Robert about what leave he can have.
Okay, so the next intervention is risk management. It is crucial that a brief risk assessment is completed within 4 hours of a patient being admitted to the ward.
Yeah, we do those on Cherry Ward.
Right, well, zoning is next. We use zoning, which is RAG rated, so red, amber, green. We use colours because they help us allocate patients according to risk criteria. So patients in the red zone, they're high risk. If a patient is amber, they're at risk of a relapse.
Whereas patients in the green zone have a stable mental state?
Exactly. OK, so the next intervention is report out boards. Have you got one of those on Cherry Ward?
We do, but I'm not sure we use it as well as we could.
Quite simply, it's a task allocation board, referring to tasks that need to be completed for the patient. It also includes a DASA score. So, for example, if a patient has a high DASA score, the tasks that form the plan to reduce it, well, they're on here.
So it's a way to visually show what needs to be completed and who is accountable.
Yeah, exactly. OK, so that was report out boards. Now, what do you remember about mutual agreement?
That one I'm not so sure about.
Sometimes known as compact. It's a mutual agreement between staff and patients about how we want to treat each other. So here at Chestnut Ward, we decided that we wanted to do that together. So we sit down and we talk about and review our agreement within our community meetings.
Exactly. It really encourages the staff to listen to the patients, but moreover, it's a reminder that we really do need to respect each other. Works for us.
I mean, yeah, that sounds great.
Time for a handover?
Ah, right. Now we need to get this room ready. The team's going to be here in 5. Everyone. I wanted us to show Nina how we used to do our handovers, and Nicola has offered her incredible acting skills this afternoon. Take it away, Nicola.
So, I don't actually have my notes. Oh, no, here they are. Woo! So, which patient am I meant to be handing over? Oh, handover from Tani on the night shift. Robert had the right attitude. Robert had a right attitude with them. Angsty with the team, and I don't understand what his problem is because he knows that he's not allowed to go outside and take leaves. At some point he went to bed. He'd say what time, but I can't remember. I'm not sure what his DASA score is. Oh, got to tell you, peroxide blonde. She's gone from brunette to like blonde, and it.
Wow, that takes me back. Right, team, to demonstrate to Nina how far we've come, let's show her an S-barred handover.
Situation. Last night, Robert had a negative attitude and was verbally threatening towards staff. The team attempted to engage him with a one-to-one, which did manage to calm him down a bit, but this morning he refused to take his medication, despite us explaining the MDT plan. Robert is becoming increasingly agitated and aggressive towards staff. Background. Robert wants a cigarette and has been asking for leave since last night. We are unable to facilitate this because of the MDT plan. Assessment. Robert currently has a DASA score of 5 because he is being hostile and both physically and verbally aggressive towards staff. He has been banging on doors and shouting at staff throughout the morning. Recommendation. MDT have reviewed the situation and we need to proactively engage with Robert. Dr. Hatsey has also recommended PRN if his behaviour continues to escalate. Leave will be reviewed tomorrow. Decision. Please could we monitor Robert's DASA and continue to proactively engage with him. Please could the OT also include him in groups this evening.
I get it now. I think I've always been keen to share everything in case I miss something, but giving a handover using S-barred means I'm only giving the important and useful information.
Well, we couldn't have done it without the support of Marco and our ward manager, Erica. They gave us some really great training sessions and encouraged us to use S-barred all the time. Certainly wasn't an overnight transformation. We worked hard, but I think we're really happy with how far we've come. Right. Next up is proactive engagement. Let's see how Robert's getting on. Robert, this is Nina. She works on one of the other wards.
Hi, Robert.
If she works on a different ward, then what's she even doing here?
She's learning about how we do things here on Chestnut Ward.
Look, I'll tell you how they do things here, Nina. Yeah? They don't let you go out. I want to go out. I've had enough.
Robert, we're concerned about you. We can't let you have leave at the moment. Nicola handed over that you've run out of vape liquid. She has gone to speak to the ward doctor about it.
But my mind's just going round and round. Yeah, I just want a cigarette.
I know it's difficult at the moment, Robert. Some people find that it helps to be distracted, to take your mind off things. Would you like to spend some time with me in the art room?
Not really. I just want a cigarette.
Okay, I'll definitely go and speak to Nicola and find out what's happening with the nicotine. Maybe when I get back we could open up the art room together. The last time we were in the art room, Robert painted an image of two wolves. Robert, do you mind if I tell Nina about them?
Fine.
Robert painted an image of two wolves. He said they represented two parts of the same person.
Light and dark. And we all have two wolves inside us. It's just about which one you choose to feed. Apparently, we have a choice.
And which one are you trying to feed, Robert?
The one that will get me home.
Worth taking 5 minutes, eh?
Yeah. It's a different perspective when it's not on your ward. Sometimes I get so focused on the next task, the next patient, the next handover, the next emergency. It can be hard to just find time to think.
You know, Nina, for me it's the little things. It's the clearing of the mugs. It's making a cup of tea. It's taking 5 minutes for yourself.
You're right. I never do that.
You know, Nina, everything that we have talked about today really will help. But it's about managing the emotional impact on ourselves as well. You know, otherwise, how can we do what we do? And what we do is important. Right, I for one feel that coffee wearing off. Come on. And this is our escalating risk poster. Nowadays, it's pretty much standard protocol to follow if there is an emergency on the ward.
What kind of emergency?
Could be anything from an agitated, physically aggressive patient to a fire or an injury.
To a patient?
Or a member of staff. It explains what you should do and what the standard procedures are.
Okay, safety first.
That's right. You can adapt it to be specific to your ward, or I could email you as, and you could use it as a template for Cherry Ward.
That would be so helpful.
Right, the last intervention is safe wards. We did touch upon it briefly earlier. It includes many ways to reduce containment and conflict, for example, seclusion and PRN. For more information, visit safewards.net.
Who are you talking to?
Oh, right, back to the poster. Pretty full-on shift, eh? I hope you found it helpful.
Yeah, I really did.
So, what do you think you'll take back to your team?
I'm definitely going to talk to my ward manager and the consultant about how we can implement the interventions. Do you have any advice?
Well, the key things to remember are MDT and leadership involvement is so important. Everyone should be involved and have a part to play. Review your data regularly and monitor improvements. But Nina, the most important thing is involve your patients in the discussion about violence and aggression. Do you know what, Nina? I have to say, it has been a real pleasure spending time with you today.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's been really helpful.
How are you getting home?
Bus?
Grab your coat, I'll give you a lift.
Are you sure?
Absolutely, yes.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome.